better attention to me when I'm talking. Because
You were very charming, and I'm completely missing it.
progress. You're learning.
Who, me? The Boy Scout?
Please stop.
Arg, me mateys. That makes you captain material in my book.
Yes, that makes you captain material in my book as well. Coming to you live from the Sound of Music Festival and Live Long and Podcast, we present our review of the Serene Squall, episode 7 of season 1 of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. We are streaming live here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, or you might be listening to us on the audio version. I'm Dave Mader, joined with Jody Simpson to break this episode down and talk about it. How are you doing tonight, Jody?
Not too bad. Yourself?
I'm doing well. There's concerts outside. We're post-pandemic, I guess. You know, it's back to normal a little bit.
In a couple of years.
Down here at the Burlington Lakeshore.
You had a couple of years apiece.
We had a couple of years apiece, and now it's all pandemonium again. And they're towing people out of my parking lot because so many people try to park where I live illegally. Jane's worried she'll get towed, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the Serene Squall, as mentioned, the 7th episode. We're lots of screenshots. We're going to be spoiling this episode. If you haven't seen it already, you should probably leave and come back and then check it out after.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. And we expect to be joined by at least Davan Skelhorn in the next 10 minutes. He'll come on to share his thoughts. And we think Adam Woodward, but we're not quite sure. Yeah. Maybe. He hasn't said one way or the other.
Maybe he's at the concerts that you're hearing.
Maybe he's at the concerts. Maybe he's going to walk in right behind me and then we'll talk about it here.
That'd be even weirder.
That'd be even weirder and unexpected, but sort of I predicted it. So it's coming out. Jody, what did you think of the Serene Squall?
I think this is the weakest episode of the season.
Okay. And is there anything in particular that you're sort of...
this whole Spock relationship shit we don't need. We especially don't need it in a show that's supposed to be just episodic and that's it. Right. But we're not getting that. It's starting to transform itself into the non-episodic thing where I need to know what happened last week and the week before and stuff like that. That's kind of bothering me. I hope that doesn't continue. There were some nice points about it. There was some good humor in it, I thought. The humor was good, but overall, I just think it's not a terrible episode. Don't get me wrong, but it's not what I was hoping for.
Okay. And and just on my, I think one thing that stood out to me is we're into episode 7 and this is the 3rd episode to feature T'Pring.
Yes.
Which
that's what's bothering me about this.
I'm like, we're getting a lot of T'Pring in this show for a character who was previously only seen in Amok Time and the Star Trek, the original series, had a pretty frosty relationship with Spock in that, in that occurrence. This is a very different caricature of it all. So I think maybe that's something I don't know how to feel about it yet. I'm kind of seeing how much more T'Pring are we going to get or not, and things like that. And not to mention more of Spock's life is being brought into this show. Cybok was into I kind of knew it was going to be Cybok as this episode
that
progressed.
Wasn't too hard to figure out.
But Cybok from Star Trek 5, the Final Frontier, everybody's favorite.
What does God need with a starship?
Yeah, ease his pain. Or is that actually?
I don't think that's the same one.
That's Field of Dreams. It was something like that, though, right? Was it with Cybok where he was able to take everyone's pain away and kind of turn them into his little cult army?
He did that with the 2 senators or whatever they were.
Yeah, well, he did it to a lot of the Enterprise crew, if you recall, too. He Chekhov and a bunch of them became. Yeah,
but Chekhov gets brainwashed all the time. That's pretty common for Chekhov.
I don't know.
Well, I wasn't going to go there, but okay.
Okay, we won't go there. We'll go somewhere else. Let's go back. Let's go into the episode itself. So here it is. This show never disappoints me visually. Always amazing.
Not at all.
Quite fantastic overall with everything they do here. We start here on not Vulcan itself, but Anik Stan Gatil Vulcan Criminal Rehabilitation Center.
Yeah, it's on one of the moons, I think.
The 3rd moon of Omicron Lyrae. Lyrae? I'm not quite sure on the pronunciation, but amazing visuals, and it ends up being a T'Pring log of all things. Is T'Pring is starting off, and we kind of find out what
Why
she
am I
does.
getting a log from a secondary at most character?
Well,
Like, why are we getting that? That's the thing that bothered me the minute this episode started. I'm like, why? I should be getting more interest in some of the other crew that I haven't had a lot of yet. Like, where's where's the nurse's log? Where's Dr. Montega's log or whatever his name is? We need more of that, not this supposed secondary character that's now been in 3 out of the 7 episodes. Like,
it was a bit surprising for me, especially considering Spock Amok was only 2 episodes ago, and so like the whole Freaky Friday with them switching bodies or whatever.
And she got more screen time in that episode than most of the cast.
Right.
So
they're leaning in hard. Not that I dislike this actor or her performance.
Oh no. I think she's doing fine. It's just we were kind of told this was going to be an episodic thing. We weren't going to have, storylines that were going to be running constantly, other than, of course, he knowing his own fate.
And this seems to be the other one. And I guess Mbenga's. Yeah. So there are some recurring storylines, like Mbenga's daughter.
Yeah, but like the Mbenga's daughter doesn't bother me that much right now because they haven't really done much with it, other than we've seen him a couple times, which only just establishes his character more than anything. Yeah. But with T'Pring, it's like I'm starting to know like her backstory and stuff. It's like why do I need to know this?
Well, maybe we'll find out. Maybe I
hope not, because that means they're going to waste more episodes with her.
She seems to be like the director of this Vulcan prison.
She's like facility. Head counselor or something like that.
Yeah. This is where the Vulcans come. Vulcans have criminals. Vulcans have bad people.
The emotional Vulcans go here.
Yeah, the emotional Vulcans especially, but any Vulcan that would break the law or for
but
reason.
To break the law, they have to
yeah
generally have emotion, right?
Generally, and Vulcans do have emotions, as we know. Yeah. They just suppress them, and it's kind of an interesting shot here where they're all doing like their calisthenics or whatever, their martial arts, and then it kind of transitions here to a fade as the sun goes down. And then T'Pring calls up Spock for a Skype call, a Skype call, not a Spock call. And she's like, "Hey, I want to talk about sexuality."
These screens in this version of Star Trek are ridiculously annoying. Like the aspect ratio is so terrible on all the view screens that they have. I'm like, wow. You could barely fit any data on this thing. Maybe it goes sideways too, like a tablet or something. But.
Interesting other thing here about this little intro is like Spock's ready to spit out his wine. He's drinking wine. Something that I don't remember him ever doing before this. But
I don't either. But, that doesn't mean he didn't.
No.
It just means it never was part of the story that we saw, I guess.
Alcohol and Vulcans don't necessarily go together for me, but it's not saying
it's not something I would say absolutely. Yeah, because there's been a couple times in the movies where like somebody's offered him something and he's like, no, basically.
Yeah, well, he's usually a tea guy, or he wants.
No, he drank. He drank whatever the hell it was they were drinking in Undiscovered Country. He was drinking it.
Wasn't that like tea or something? Oh, it was Romulan ale. He was drinking
Romulan ale. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but anyway.
But he usually would order Altair water, if you recall, too.
Yes, Altair water. Yeah. Which might just be slang for some sort of vodka or something. We don't know.
Could be.
Maybe he's a lush the whole time.
I always thought he would be more of a teetotaler, but we'll see. And so she's like, "Well, you wanted me to get in touch with your human side. I'm looking up all the sexual greats, like whatever."
Oh,
she's like,
God, yeah.
Going for a little bit of shock value here. It's going back and forth on this conversation. And I don't know quite how it ends with these two here. It's some interesting visuals on either side of this conversation as we see the Vulcan graphics on her side and the Starfleet graphics on his side.
I like how the Starfleet graphics in this though are kind of like how Enterprise had their screens laid out. It's a neat touch. It's all squares, it's not the fancy, swirls that we get with Lacars and stuff like that.
No, yeah,
at least the iterations that we've seen, right? So
it's a very deliberate design, and I like it too.
Yeah. I like that as a touch. It's the same thing where they had like the little flashing lights that were on the panels as well. I thought those were pretty cool too. Just what they've done.
Yeah, and so like I guess this is just to set up the whole thing that she works at this prison, because that's really what this scene's about, and to give us, I guess, a little bit more character development on either side of them. As this continues, she was brushing up on her recoupling rituals. That's right. Yes. Thanks,
Chris.
Yeah, and then she's going out. He meets up here with Chapel in the hallway. We get more of their relationship. He goes to her for relationship advice.
Which I don't mind this, because we know that they had kind of a relationship anyway, or at least a friendship, back in the original series. So I don't mind this. Like this is character development. This is fine. I understand this. It's the T'Pring thing that just drives me nuts in this episode.
Like, so it seems like, Chapel wants Spock, but Spock's devoted to T'Pring, and that kind of comes up here at the end of the episode after they have their whole like kiss and everything, where she says, you're not the type to like come after me when you already got a girlfriend. But they in the original series, they did have sort of this where she's chasing him, but he's kind of aloof to it.
Yeah, it's the exact same thing. Just this is a more modernized version of it. But
but 10 years earlier, so it's filling in a lot more context around
the Chapel character has surprised me the most, because I thought I was going to absolutely hate that character, and they've done a great job with her. I
like this version of Chapel much more than the original version of Chapel.
Me too. Yeah, I like how she's snarky. I like how she's got some fun into her. I just think it's a.
But it's the same. It's the same. It's not like the Kelvin universe where these are like
everybody's totally different. Yeah,
everyone's totally different. Or this is like
she's literally the same type. It's just a little bit more open. Yeah.
She's the younger version of Majel Barrett's character, right? Yeah. And so it's interesting how different they've made her. Spock, I think, for the most part, he's a bit more modern, but I can retcon a little bit that she's a bit more of a.
Chris has it exact. Yeah, Chapel is wonderfully candid. Yeah,
well, she's great. I like she's that. Great. It's just like I'm trying to. How is she going to become that person in the original series? For me, is a little bit of a. The more I get to know her, the more I'm like.
I thought I would hate this because number one, models that turn into actresses usually aren't very good. There are some.
Was she a model first?
Yeah, she was. Yeah. She won. I think it was Australia Top Model or something at one point.
Australian.
Yeah. From what I remember, anyway. But yeah, no, I thought I would hate this like to a T, but no.
Jess Bush.
Jess Bush. Yeah.
She is Australian. Yes.
I thought she was an Aussie. No, I like these type of character developments. These are fine, because you have to know these characters if you're going to care about them, right? I totally get that. I already don't care about T'Pring at all. Right. And on top of that, they're devoting way too much time when I could be learning about, Ortega or, anybody really.
Right. A whole bunch of the other Enterprise crew.
The only one I don't need to learn about is the security chick. What's her name?
Lon.
I don't need to learn anything more about her. I already know exactly what she is.
Right. But like,
she's very two-dimensional, but
yeah, well, she's the aggressive one. But okay, let's get back to the
she's the Worf of this series.
I played it here in the intro, but I just I loved some of this dialogue between them.
Yeah, where, it was good.
She's like, don't overdo it. You tried to overdo it last time, and she's like, and you better listen to me.
Pay better attention to me when I'm talking, because
you were very charming, and I'm completely missing it.
Progress. You're learning.
Yeah, right. Very cute. Yeah,
very cute. Good stuff.
And you got to remember, she's saying this to a guy who is one of the highest ranks on this ship. Right, but because they have this friendship, but because they have this friendship, they can do this, right? Or at least she can do it to him. He doesn't really do it to her, but that kind of thing. I just like that.
Good vibes all around here. Yeah. We then
those two have good chemistry too, which is kind of odd to say, but it's
we're joined here. Let's just bring this down. Davan
by Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Oh no, wait, that's Davan.
Yes, the Alpha Brandon 2.
Brandon 2, huh? All right.
I can do the Duggan.
Yeah, welcome Davan Skelhorn coming to us live from Nova Scotia.
See, it's wasted because we don't have the titles on everybody's window.
We're live in Nova Scotia.
So there you go. Oh damn, you put them on.
There you go.
Oh, you see what I did there? You see what I did there, right?
I did see what you did there. Yeah.
I saw it. I saw it. All good. So Davan, just what do you think of this
reference? Obviously. The Braga.
The Braga. The Alpha Braga of it all, of course.
The Alpha Browning.
He's more of a beta, I'd say, Braun Braga.
Oh,
But,
guess that makes Jerry Ryan the alpha.
I would give it to Rick Berman, but you know, let's
not my first choice, but anyway.
Davan, just a couple questions off the top since you're joining us a little bit late here. Number one, what did you think about the episode overall? 2, do you feel like there's too much to bring in this show already? And 3, we were just covering the Chapel and Spock relationship, at least, especially the intro, like their first scene together where they're walking down the corridor. What did you think of all those things?
Okay. I liked the episode fine. I think it's my least favorite so far.
Same here.
Yeah. It's still good.
Oh, yeah. It's not crap or anything. It's
No.
It's not like Minefield.
The next thing, what was it? The Chapel Spock thing?
Oh no, T'Pring. How much? We're into episode 7. This is the third appearance of T'Pring.
I will admit this was the first time she showed up that I was very surprised, like that they were using her again. But no, I like her character and I'm fine with it. I mean, look, if she shows up in the next couple episodes, I may take.
She's shown up in 3 of 7 episodes. This is a regular character apparently.
Yeah.
The end of this episode
supposed to be episodic.
The end of that. Fair. But the end of this episode sort of explains why they're using her so much, I think. And
why? What was the explanation?
We're skipping to the end. Well, because
I didn't understand. I didn't get that, so I just wanted to.
She's working with Cybok.
She's working with him?
Not with him, but like she oversees.
She has this connection to Cybok, and
his
Cybok
rehabilitation, right?
Right, and I guess and Cybok being introduced here, I guess it can work because none of, like, obviously Kirk and Chekhov and Sulu, none of them are here, so it doesn't change anything about Star Trek 5, as we must preserve Star Trek 5. And yeah,
well,
it's like finding fossilized dinosaur shit.
My C question was about these two.
Chapel Spock. Yes.
Yeah, just especially this first scene where he's asking her for relationship advice, and
well, I gotta say, as the kids say these days, I'm shipping for those two.
Yeah, well, like obviously, like I would.
We know it's not going to happen.
It's not. We know it won't happen. Like we know. It's just like with Pike. Will he be able to escape the fate of the wheelchair? Nope.
But there could be their relationship could just be that I just quite like both their characters as well. But it may not be their kitchen I'm enjoying, but I like them playing off each other. I like
and we were just saying the other thing that we were kind of commenting on was the fact that, you know, this Chapel, who I really like, I think the right, I like the writing, I like the character, but it's hard for me to sync this version of Chapel up with the version Majel Barrett played in the original series. Maybe more than anything else.
Sort of have to let that go because when it comes down to it, they only gave the triumvirate anything to work with, and a Scotty a drinking scene every now and then. But like,
Chapel was
they didn't develop anybody else. Which that's the point I wanted to make about the Cybok thing and Chapel and everything. My whole thing about this series so far is that I like that they're giving good stuff and some air to the forgotten characters, you know, like the characters that never got anything, like Chapel, or characters like Cybok, who it's just like people think of that movie and they're like, but like they can redeem Cybok here.
They can make him a great character for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So I think they will, and I think that's cool.
I don't know if they can redeem him.
We'll see.
We already know what he does.
Make that movie better, or can they? I don't think they can make that movie better.
We're going. What did he call it in that movie? He's like, we're going to heaven, or we're going to Shangri-La, or whatever.
Shangri-La.
Yeah. Anyway, let's just we got to just about this scene, which is the introduction of this character who's at dinner with them, who we're told is Dr. Aspen, a counselor initially.
Good character, I thought.
We get another dinner in Pike's quarters. Like with Dr. Aspen, as we're told. We'll find out it's not Dr. Aspen. It's Captain Angel, in fact, with a ruse here. But seems to be convincing that, you know, Dr. Aspen used to be in Starfleet and then left. Was a counselor and was trying to, husband was killed or something like that, and became sort of a humanitarian aid focused person. Now they said that they're on the edge of Federation space. That's equivalent to the Old West. whatever, but it's clearly not that far away that you can't get from Vulcan to there in pretty quick time. So it can't be that far away, but
I like what he says about that too. It might not be in this scene, but he's just like, look, you can do whatever you want outside of Federation territory, but what are you doing in here in Federation territory? Like, that's not a great idea.
Yeah, not the smartest thing.
Is Pike awesome in this episode or what?
God, he is great.
Damn, I love Pike. He is
always awesome.
He'll make you walk the plank.
You matey.
I like the whole references to him being a Boy Scout.
Oh yeah, I got some Boy Scout.
It's in your file, Chris.
I'm not the Boy Scout.
He's not the Boy Scout.
No.
And she's like, it's literally in your file. It's literally in your file. She's like,
this man makes me uncomfortable.
She's awesome, by the way, as his number one, because he kind of needs her. Like, she's like the Picard and he's the Riker. He gets to goof off and stuff because she'll always play it straight,
Right. Yeah, that's kind of their dynamic. He's a bit more of an outside of the lines kind of a guy, where she's
that pirate thing. She's like, please stop.
Just stop.
I'm just hoping they don't keep her as boring as she is right now.
Please stop.
Pretty boring.
She's the straight man.
But so was Picard for the first couple seasons, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's kind of the reverse between Riker and Picard with these two.
It really is, yeah, he's more of a Riker.
Yeah, but interesting, little setup here.
Oh my God, that's how they're gonna fix this.
What?
Well,
there's gonna be a transporter accident. There's gonna be 2 Pikes.
Dumb Pike.
And one of them is gonna be in the chair, and the other one's gonna live a nice, fruitful life.
I don't know. The other thing
I called it.
The other thing that they've been talking about on
they
social
can
media
kill the other one.
It's just Pike's hair.
Maybe.
Pike's hair is becoming more and more like, how the hell does he get this hair?
God, it's
lots
good,
of product.
It's a good. It's a.
Oh,
good
I only wish I
good
looked as good
hair.
as this.
Don't
man.
we all? Don't we all?
Yeah.
But especially
I'd put a beard on him if it were me, but at
least 10
I
to
don't
15
know how
years
old he is, but
he's like 50 something, isn't he?
Gotta be.
I don't
that
know.
silver
We should
fox.
find that out.
I'm
gonna look that up.
I can look that up right now.
Oh,
He's
We're
49.
men crushing.
49. So
Captain
he's
Pike.
4 years older than me, and the guy looks like he's 20 years younger. Fuck.
Yeah. Silver Fox. What are you gonna do, man?
Clean living, Jody. Clean living.
Yeah. And so what
I doubt that guy's clean living with his looks.
The sort of outcome of this conversation, which Dr. Aspen sets up here, is that the Serene Squall is like a pirate ship that, will raid people. You do not want to run into them. They're raiding people, doing bad things. And he's like, okay, we're going to go and see what we can do and find out here. So it's kind of what the net outcome, I think, is my recollection of this episode or the scene was.
They sound like an Orion Syndicate type organization from that.
Yeah, like they're
very
bad
much,
people out here in the Old West, and the Federation are the marshals out here to see if they can help things. And they find this debris field to start things off, seeming like that there was an attack here or something like that. But it turns out, or at least Dr. Aspen says, that this wasn't from the Serene Squall. This is some kind of other thing or something else they've kind of come across here. But that, there are people missing. They need to find these people. He has to leave Federation space or to go into this uncharted territory. Spock says you need to get permission, but it's going to take 2 days to get a communication there and back, I think. And Pike's just like, no, I'm making the call. I'm not waiting around to see if, I'm not going to wait around to get permission to go save people. I'm sure I'll get it. And so that's kind of what they go here to. And we see as the Enterprise is flying through this debris field and asteroid field, we see this other, these communication buoys that they're kind of dropping off along the way here, just so that they can kind of stay in communication with Federation space, because they're kind of moving away from the
Well said, Dave. As a maritimer, I can tell you, anyone who calls them boys doesn't live near the ocean.
Yeah, they're buoys, man. Buoys.
Makes me crazy every time. Anyway,
right.
Pet peeve. Always.
After the, I think this is after the the credits and everything coming back. Spock he goes to find Dr. Aspen, who we hear like this club music sort of thing going on. She opens the door. She's all sweaty. He's like, hey, what's up? The other thing I found, just a quick little note, when they head over here into the turbo lift, he uses like the thing, he just has to say where he wants to go, and then he takes his hand off of it. So you don't have to hold your hand there the whole time. Like
no, they were just doing balance in the original series, you see.
Oh, but they would usually have to hold their hand there for the entire like trip
for balance.
For balance, okay.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think Dave's right. I think they had to hold it to get it to move.
Yeah, like there was like a knob.
Like they would hold on to it, and then literally when they got where they were, they would like look up for a second, and then they'd go, okay. And
they just think it looks funny for modern TV, and they just don't want it.
Yeah, well, it doesn't.
I like the fact that they kept this though.
Oh yeah.
All these little things that they've put on these sets are fantastic. Like the set designers need, a raise.
Yeah, like that, that ridiculous red frame, like that would never show up.
That wouldn't jive. And like, imagine if Discovery had that.
No,
like if anything in Discovery had something like that, people would be like up in arms about it. But
works here. Like like this Enterprise got a cool look to it. And so these two are forming a kind of a relationship. She's kind of playing this long con on him, as we'll find out later on in the episode, trying to play his emotions, even though he doesn't have any, right? Gets her to put this necklace on, and she's talking to him. Pike is quickly becoming my all-time favorite. Yeah, like he's pretty great here.
Man, Murphy, you ain't wrong.
He's very close to already going past Kirk for me.
This guy
and I like Kirk
is
for the
going to
most
be
part.
a legendary cast by the end of the show. Like they're going to be.
I don't know if all of them will be, but
not Lon for.
They're also good.
Not Lon. No.
Give her a chance, man. I like Lon.
She is the useless Worf of this show.
Well, Worf, I am a Worf fan.
Right. I forgot that you're broken, Jody. I forgot about that.
No, I'm not broken. I'm
realistic. He likes Tasha Yar for some reason. He thinks
Tasha Yar was awesome. She had a cool backstory. Sad, but it was a good backstory.
Worf's backstory was heartbreaking.
Yeah,
Worf's backstory was bullshit. Who cares?
Oh my!
We're moving. We're not talking Worf.
Bullshit. Anyway, let's.
It is.
Anyway. So okay, let's talk about Pike and Ortega's, because Pike's like, "Hey, Ortega's, do you think you could handle flying through this asteroid field?"
Why can't I have an episode where I learn more about Ortega?
It's coming. She's great.
It's coming, but no, we need 3 T'Pring episodes first.
Yeah, we need 3 T'Pring episodes, and not one with Ortega, which might be one of the funniest cast members on this show.
Yeah,
why can't I have that?
Ortega's got some great liners and zingers in there. And there's some.
I love the. How close do you want me to get? First date or third date?
Yeah. He's like, blind. What does he say? Blind date?
He goes blind date.
She's like,
and then later on, she's like, "Yep, third base."
Some interesting stuff here. I
love this graphic. Go back to that. So this little swirly circle thing, they had a version of this in the original show. And I love that they put it in here. That's awesome.
I feel like the science station feels like more of a functional science station. They all do, right? Like the whole bridge feels.
The set designers better win some fucking awards, man. This is this looks great.
Yeah. And then they get caught into what I thought was maybe like a Tholian web or something.
I was hoping it was a Tholian web,
but I guess it wasn't.
It's wrong color though.
Color.
Tholian webs are orange.
Yeah, they're right. They're yellow,
amberish. Yeah,
amberish. So this was something else, and it's like closing in on them. And Spock's like, "Well, we have to destroy one of them, but we don't know which." Basically, this comes down to Spock has to make a guess on what to do here, and she's like, "Come on, you gotta make a guess." And the whole time, Dr. Aspen is sort of playing the part of the counselor, on the ship, right? But is really
she's manipulating him.
Yeah,
like I saw this coming a mile away. Like this was not an episode where they hit anything well, except for maybe the final.
I didn't see the turn coming. Honestly, I didn't.
I totally saw the turn. I knew this girl was up to something because it just doesn't make sense the amount of time she's investing in him.
But I thought they were setting her up as the new counselor because they don't have one.
No,
that we've seen.
I didn't think they were going to be doing that.
But anyway, so they got.
I don't think they have counselors at this point, do they? Did they have a counselor in?
You know what they say about Aspen? The beer flows like wine.
Is that what they say?
I'm just grateful that we had a transgender actress technically, an actress, and they didn't bother to deal with anything to do with her sexuality.
No, but
not on Discovery.
But if you really look into the subtext of the episode, they're doing that.
The subtext was there,
but they're making it about a showpiece. She's an actress.
They're making exactly what they're making it about how Spock is neither Vulcan nor human. He's something else. Like that's kind of like
Well, I understood the
what you are
undertone
is
there.
who you are was the big line.
Yeah,
Yes, and
right.
that's exactly
nice.
that's what I would like Discovery to do. But no, we have to blatantly throw everything in front of us as much as we can.
Pike, well, okay,
at least they didn't do that in this. I liked it.
Just on this scene though, Pike says, "Make a
show
guess,
is pure genius.
Go on a hunch." And so Spock does. He just picks he happens to pick the right one, and you see like here. Well, Aspen says you almost had a heart attack. Here, right? But Lon fires the phasers. They get the destruction. Boom, they're out. And then we see this like insect-looking kind of ship that detaches from a nearby asteroid, and then follows them along. We'll find out later.
Enterprise always looks so good. They're putting money into this CG too. Like,
oh yeah, the Enterprise looks great, and they're making it way better of a character, I think, than Discovery makes the Discovery ship. It's way.
That's one of the gripes I have is that the ships need to be a character, and they're not a character in Discovery.
They love to show Discovery doing like the spore drive, but outside of the spore drive stuff, they don't really do a lot with it. Anyway,
too much Burnham, not enough ship.
Got more manipulation here from Aspen/Angel as she comes to talk to him.
Again, look at those quarters. That looks great.
He's got the Vulcan
retro,
tambourine.
But not retro. I love it. Sorry, Dave.
Yeah. But like here, Aspen kind of makes a case to him about how all species want to put things into boxes.
All species put things into boxes. It's like you're either this or you're that, and sometimes we act a certain way to fit people's expectations, but that's not necessarily who we are.
Right.
That is a perfect way to deal with this.
Well, I think
that is the way that they should do this.
This is the whole non-binary thing, but they're kind of applying it to Spock.
All for that.
About, because he talks about like, well, I was raised on Vulcan. She's like, well, that's geography.
That's geography. I loved that.
Because she says you're half human. He goes, well, that's biology. And like, there's some interesting discussion here.
There's some nice quarrels in the
between these two here.
I think that forth with
the dialogue was sharp. Actually, I'm warming up to this episode even more. I still liked it, but
Right.
Really good.
And then later on,
it's going to be my lowest rated to date, I'm sure.
Right before Angel leaves, like she kind of says something kind of on that note as well, which I'll play it when we get to that scene. But it's just because this actor who's what's the name?
Jesse James. What's her last name?
The dialogue was like super on point in this episode.
Jesse James Keitel. That's it.
Who's also non-binary and won some awards for playing some non-binary characters.
I think she was one of the first to come out as openly,
and has done well with it. Critically speaking, in terms of some performances.
Like if you're going to be on a show that is clearly about the binary or non-binary or whatever, that's fine, but like that's the problem that I have with Discovery. It's always in your face, and they make it like that's the character itself. That's the only reason why they're there. And it's like this is a great way to deal with it. Yes, you can still deal with those things like the whole box metaphor and all that stuff. I like that. Just don't make this character don't make the actress the character. Like she's playing a character which has no relation to that other than, we don't know one way or the other, and it doesn't matter because she's a good actress for that.
You're talking about on Discovery, there's the character.
There's many.
I'm trying to remember their name right now.
Well, this show has subtext. Discovery holds
tall.
Great.
Adira.
Adira is one of them, yeah.
Yeah.
The doctor as well.
But Adira, the doctor's a gay man, but like Adira is like a non-binary individual, and so anyway, they're a little more.
It comes up like every 3 lines of dialogue.
It's like the quintessential part about that character, right? And so
I like that doctor. I wish we could take him off Discovery and put him on this show.
Yeah, actually, I do like him.
Yeah, Dr. Culber.
Yes. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
I remember all the Discovery characters right now. They're getting lost to me. Anyway, great performance here from this guest star. I think we are going to see Angel again, but she's really like going far to like win over Spock in this
big foil for Spock, probably.
A great
foil. I think Angel is going to be one of those characters that like shows up once a season. and causes havoc or turns into be like kind of the friend in a way, like the Q, I guess, in the way.
Have you guys noticed that maybe it's because of his great acting lineage, but Ethan Peck, the guy who plays Spock, just has mad chemistry with anyone they put him in a scene in.
He's very good in the show.
He's a good actor,
but he's a
good actor. I just don't need that much Spock.
Like, I'm always like, he's got such good chemistry with Chapel. He's got such good chemistry with Pike. He's got such good chemistry with this Angel character. He's just like, man, he just nails it with everybody.
No, he's a great actor.
Yeah. And Chris Murphy says he thinks this whole episode is driving a plot point to next week's episode, which I guess might be about Cybok. We'll see if they're going to do it that soon.
That's fine. As long as I don't get that much to bring, I'm happy.
We'll see. As we move through this episode, we got Ortega's. She's flying the ship, and I think this is maybe the blind date part. And then
it's been a while. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Bench the deck crew. Nip the with what he's saying here, but they find the Serene Squall. We see like a little bit of a scan here of it, so we kind of get a sense of what
to Pringles. I love that. I don't know who Chris Murphy is, but I like him.
Nip the and give enough fuel to the eventual death of to Pringles. Yeah, well, it has
Pringles. I'm calling her to Pringles from now on. That's amazing.
That's genius.
Right.
That is genius.
Here we got, they're like, well, we got the element of surprise because they find the Serene Squall, but it's empty. It doesn't seem like there's anybody aboard or something.
Speaking of characters that don't get enough backstory, there's one.
Who?
We got her whole backstory that she's.
There wasn't enough.
Well, don't worry, there'll be more.
Illyrian.
She's an Illyrian.
Here's a prediction for you. I predict within the next 4 episodes, there's going to be an episode that makes Jody love Una.
We'll see.
Oh, I like Una. I want more of Una.
Oh,
just you wait.
It's coming.
Just you wait.
I'm sure there will be.
Yeah. They say we have the element of surprise here, and I like how she's like, okay, so hey, Pike, you're breaking all the rules. You're going on an away mission. We're leaving Federation space without permission. Blah blah blah. All these things. He's like, I think he gives a great line to her about who me?
Who me? The Boy Scout.
Who me? The Boy Scout?
I love his little smirk too.
He's got lots of smirks, and he's kind of
you kind of have it in that screenshot there. Yeah, the smirk is funny.
Yeah. And they,
I have 87 badges.
Yeah, I'm the most decorated Starfleet officer of all time, but whatever. Yeah. Anyway, they no Chief Kyle here. They get beamed over by Una directly.
Well, he's a
Chief
jerk.
Kyle's kind of a prick, though.
Well, that's his reputation, at least. That's what the
he's kind of a prick.
So mean.
Yeah,
not
really
to him. No, I don't think we need anything more to do with Kyle.
That's a funny gag. Like that's gonna be like a Morn gag. Like we'll never see him be a super jerk, but people will just constantly.
Yeah, but everybody will be like, "That guy's such a douche."
Like, God, why is Kyle on this ship? God,
yeah,
Kyle sucks.
Stay away from it. Stay away from the transporter room unless you have to go somewhere.
Yeah,
Don't go near him. He's an ass.
You beam over. They like the
second transporter room.
Throw on their lights. They're looking around the ship. They can't find anybody.
Would it be amazing if they were getting ready to like do like an away mission and they're like, meet me in transporter room 3, and then it's like, oh wait, no, Kyle's on shift right now. Let's do it in 1.
Actually, let's just beam from the bridge.
Dave's like, stop talking. I gotta get through this episode.
Well, we can be here all night if you guys want.
Dave.
Sorry.
Good question here from Chris Murphy. When they beam down, why wouldn't they beam down in more of like a circular
Absolutely. They did, but they're all facing one direction. Makes no sense at all.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a little
I totally thought the exact same thing.
They're going into a hostile environment.
They always
here.
stand like in a transporter.
Well, not only
room.
that, but he says
they do always, even in TNG era, they always beam down facing the same direction.
Yeah. Well, no, they don't. Not all the time.
What? When?
No, when they beamed onto the Borg ship, they didn't. When they were going after Picard, they were all pointing in different directions.
That was the one time they did do it. Yeah.
No, they've done it many times.
What was the significance? What was the significance of this thing on the bars? On like it was.
The bars look like nacelles.
No, but this like device that's on here.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's like a hollow emitter, maybe.
or was transmitting
because
field.
they
It's gotta be a force
yeah,
field,
they thought
'cause-
there was going to be a bunch of people sitting in a cage, and
There
they're
wasn't.
not there.
Yeah, because
So
they
I
were
guess
trying to
it
find
fakes
like
the biosigns.
the fake like hostages or whatever.
Yeah, I guess it's faking the biosigns or something. So they look
Right.
at that and they're like, "Oh fuck."
And they called up the Enterprise and said, "There's nobody here." She's like, "We're pulling you out of there." And this is kind of where the bad guys, like the pirates, show up and they start raiding it. Chapel kind of spots them first, hides behind her.
So, did we ever
Look at
get
them
an
Jeffries
introduction
shoes.
as to how they got on this damn ship?
They just beamed on
Yeah,
when
they did say.
Did they?
when Pike
they
and the crew
beamed out,
beamed
they
over.
beamed in.
They beamed in and
Okay.
managed to not get
Because
detected
we're
here.
down, man.
Okay, I missed that somehow.
But I do love this shot here with Chapel going up the Jeffries tube. This
Very
is
cool.
like one of my favorite parts of
And
it.
I love that it doesn't look all fancy. It
Lose
just looks
Dave?
like a shitty Jeffries tube. I like that.
It looks like a modernized version of like what they used in the original series. Looks great.
Yeah, very cool.
Very cool.
Very utility.
They're kind of trying to figure things out here, and this is kind of where the pirates get the jump on them. Go ha ha ha, and they're kind of outnumbered and outgunned, and then the bridge gets attacked at the same time. The bomb goes off, the little grenade, I guess. We lost Davan.
Bye, Davan.
He'll be back. So Una has to like lock down the security measures. Lock up
I like
the main
that.
computer.
I like
yeah.
that she did that. Yeah, that was cool.
There he is again.
He's back.
Is he?
Maybe. Davin's been replaced by a swirly circle. All right.
We'll see.
Anyway. But yeah, no, I like the fact that they locked down the ship. That would make perfect sense. Like, if
We've seen this before, but it was kind of cool.
Oh, absolutely. But I liked how they did it.
Yeah. The firefight continues. We got Ortega's and Una. They're firing their phasers. More pirates coming in and out. And so Spock and Aspen, who we don't know is Angel yet, they're kind of going through bridge. Spock did some like impressive like physical work here, just throwing these pirates like across the bridge.
Yeah, he's what? He's got double the strength of a human being. Three times, yeah. So with that, he would be able to pick up a 200-pound person and throw them. Like that would be.
I wasn't surprised by it. It was, it
oh
was,
no, I just think it's great that they showed it. Right? Like,
yeah, it was cool to see. He just kind of gets in there, and then he sees Una, who this pirate, of course, knows, or not Una. I'm sorry, Aspen / Angel.
This comment from Chris totally is right. I thought the exact same thing. I kind of laughed when he shoved her across the path.
He shoved Aspen.
Angel he literally throws her like right in the path of the guys with the guns. Like, yeah, that's protecting. Very well done. I caught that too. That was funny.
I think Davin's.
Let's wait until he actually shows up.
Let's see if he actually can stream in here. Anyway, so in this whole like thing, we see Aspen kind of gets like shot in the back as they're leaving, right?
Yeah.
So like this is quite the performance, and like this even makes it more believable that Aspen gets shot here. This is why.
Well, this is where I was questioning it, and then I'm like, but she's walking around. She's not nursing anything. Oh, I think we got Davan. Or we got
like
freeze frame.
Davan, you're back.
I'm back.
Oh. We're just saying, like I was thinking the fact that Aspen / Angel here.
Screens go all squirrely.
No.
Oh man, mine did. I couldn't see you guys at all, or myself. I had to get out.
Well, we were okay. We kept going. But the fact that Aspen / Angel got shot here, and that to me, that just even made the turn even more surprising here at the end. It made like the whole like this whole.
Well, this is where I started questioning my theory. Right, I'm like, oh, maybe she is actually a good guy, right? And then I'm like, no, there's still something going on. Especially when you see her in the next scene, and she does this for a second, and then she literally is fine. Like she never nurses it again.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like, okay.
And Pike has to surrender over here on the Serene Squall while this is happening. And we meet this like Orion guy who we think's the captain at first. He turns out to be like, I guess, the first officer of the Serene Squall.
Yeah, he's like,
he's like a
lower than
hardcore pirate guy. Orion. Pike's not impressed.
He looks familiar too. I wonder who played him. I'm gonna look it up.
He would have like a British accent or something. You gotta look.
He looks familiar for something. I just don't know what it was.
Yeah,
he does allude to the fact. He does allude to the fact that he's not captain, though. That he's just he says things like they know who's in charge.
Yeah,
never actually. Said
what was his name? Anybody remember?
I don't know if we get a name.
Yeah, Remy. Okay,
Remy.
Yeah, it's played by Michael Hugh. I'm trying to think of if I know him from any. Oh, he was in Vikings a couple times. Yeah, no, I don't know him from anything. I've seen Vikings.
He was quite good.
I figured he was from Vikings just by looking at him.
Yeah, well, it makes sense. That's how he looks normally, by the way. That's his picture on IMDb. Pretty close to that.
He's green all the time.
He's not green, but pretty
green.
much everything else is the same.
So for a while, it seems like, oh, this is gonna be like Die Hard with Spock and Chapel, and I guess Aspen having to try to retake the ship,
which would have been great,
right? Well, that kind of.
I wanted to see Chapel do a whole like Starship Mine kind of thing.
Yeah,
where like she's kind of evading them the whole time.
I like this here with Una. That look.
Yeah, the look she gives Spock, like it's up to you, man. You got to save the day.
Una's subtle, man. I like the way they're using her character right now. She's like, she's sort of the captain.
They're not giving me more of her.
First officer. She's the XO. She's got this. I'm looking at no Uhura in this episode
because Pike's always on the away missions. He's the first officer on the away mission, and she's the one like running the ship. You know.
Yeah. No, she's
good.
She
should be like, Captain, you should not be going down on this away. They didn't do that, I guess, back in those days.
She knew she couldn't stop him, so she doesn't really try that. Yeah. But not gonna argue with the Boy Scout, you know. Nah. Anyway, up the Jeffries tube here, and then Pike's getting the beat down over on the pirate ship. Well, Mr. Green here watches. Is that like Vulcan Calto on the table
Looks
there
like
too?
Yeah, it does look
like
kind of
Vulcan chess or whatever. Probably the spoils of war. Anyway, so Pike's getting space heated. Yeah. And they're like, give us the command codes. We have to unlock the computer, et cetera, et cetera. And then he ends up basically throwing this what he says, like people need food or whatever. Throws the food into Pike's face. He goes, I can help. I can cook. I can cook here.
Anybody have a problem with this?
With the fact
that so funny.
Like just how he gets out of the situation.
So dumb. It's so dumb.
This
wouldn't work.
No, that was my least favorite part of this episode. This is why it's my least favorite episode.
I like when he put the apron on. It really helped sell it for me.
All the stuff he's doing is hilarious and his acting's awesome, but the plan is terrible.
The plan
trying to foment a mutiny, that makes sense. But him like I'll
absolutely
cook for you,
100%. And I liked a lot of the scenes that had to do with that. But this whole cooking thing was just
there never really feels like there's that much danger here because he's like, yeah, well, we'll start putting you guys out airlocks or whatever. He's like, whatever. I've dealt with these kind of guys before. I don't care. Like this
they're
is
all
like
just not on his level at all.
Yeah, he's like, you guys are idiots.
They needed some more drama. There was really no threat. Like it didn't feel like there was a threat. So it was like
the threat of gruel under your nose.
Yeah, the threat that he might have to eat the crap that they're eating. Like that was the threat, right? Like
I guess
I don't know.
Anyway, and there was this other woman who was like, this guy's an idiot. The green guy's an idiot.
She was the other one that looked familiar to me too. See if I can find her name.
Anyway, so Pike's plan here is like, let me cook for you guys. Anyway, we see the pirates here. Chapel sneaking around. She can't get into the main computer. Everything's unavailable. So she keeps. Then she gets dropped on here by these pirates, which I thought was a cool sequence here, where she's like, "I'm just a nurse. I'm just a nurse," you know. But she's got something up her sleeve, a hypo spray that can probably do weird things to you. And some interesting things with her tattoos, guys. Also,
I noticed
like
that
on her finger. Are these Jess Bush's real tattoos, or are these Chapel's tattoos?
Yeah.
I think they're actually hers.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe they were supposed to cover them up and didn't, or maybe they just don't care.
Because she's got them on this hand, and then over here on her wrist, she has something else.
Well, let me look that up.
Yeah. Interesting.
Well, anyway, she's the kind of character that would have tattoos as well.
Yeah, she is a kind of character that would have them. Here, this is clearly a stunt actress right before like this thing gets physical.
It doesn't look like her. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Wow.
Only because I happen to get a screenshot. Yeah, at that moment, but then we're back to Jess Bush here. And she gets them with the hypo spray. She don't need no phaser. She's got her trusty medicine vial, her med kit. So I liked how she kind of got the drop on these guys. Yeah, over here again. You guys might think this is dumb. I thought Pike, especially wearing the apron over his like command vest or his like tactical vest, I thought was hilarious.
So he's on their ship in their kitchen.
Yes,
they just have all these ingredients like. I don't understand.
A good chef can do anything with the worst ingredients. Have you not seen like some of these cooking shows?
Yeah, sure.
You know, Pike is a master culinary artist. That's his like thing, apparently.
He's like, you have no produce and no spices, but I will make you some amazing food.
Okay, so the official answer. They are all her real tattoos. They chose not to for the character to cover them up.
Okay. Yeah.
So these are tattoos that they implied that Nurse Chapel would actually have. So
what is Pike serving here? Is it chili?
Looks like chili.
Yeah, it looks like a chili type thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Or a stew.
Anyway, he's working.
It was better than gruel.
It was better than the gruel.
It's probably that same shit that they used to eat in the Matrix, right? Same idea.
Maybe the single-celled amino acids or whatever.
Yes, or whatever it was. Yeah,
proteins. Anyway, so Pike's working his angle. He's inciting a mutiny. That's what his whole plan is. I'm going to work this guy. I'm going to work the other pirates and get them to fight each other so I can take over this ship. That's his whole thing. And I like its execution. Over in sickbay, we got Spock. He's treating Aspen for the whole phaser wound she took on the bridge. They find out the computer's locked. We got to get to engineering. I feel like she says something interesting to him here. I can't quite remember, but he finds some phasers here in sickbay, and they're on the move. Here, Pike's getting thrown back into the cell by the guys. He's reunited with his shipmates. And he's like, they beat me up a bit, but at least I made them some food. And he's just like, guess what, guys? I forgot about this part. Good news.
More good news. I convinced these guys to sell us to the Klingons.
Right. He's like, yeah, I told. That was like, he's like,
and Becky's like, yes, I will check him again.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, because they have the woman there thinks it's a stupid idea because the Klingons will usually just kill you for being dishonorable or whatever. The Klingons don't like pirates.
Remember that scene from DS9? He's just like, well, this is way better than Klingon prison. They threatened to kill you. They must have threatened to kill me every day. Or like,
yeah.
Oh no, that they do that every day. He's like, they threatened to kill me. Of course they do that every day.
Yeah, just to mess with you.
Yeah, just to mess with you. Today is your execution, and then it like never happens. So messed up, man.
Ortega's like, that's the good news, and then like I like how Una looks at him here and just like, not Alpha Braga 4.
Oh no, not Alpha Braga 4.
Oh yeah, Alpha Braga 4.
Alpha Braga 4. We're doing Alpha Braga 4.
I hope we get more about that.
And Lon doesn't know what the heck that is.
That's like Budapest in the MCU.
Yeah, it's like, it's gonna be the new thing. Alpha Braga 4. What happened on Alpha Braga 4? We did a prequel show just for Alpha Braga 4.
Yeah,
and I guess we can kind of get the gist of it though.
Written by Brandon Braga.
Yeah, of course. Here over in engineering, which we don't see enough. I got to tell you, like this I love this engineering set.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's here. It's Angel and Spock. They find Chapel, who is knocked out a couple of guards. We can kind of see them. Pirates are on the ground.
Where's Hemmer? We certainly haven't seen much Hemmer lately.
We didn't see any Hemmer.
He's with Uhura right now.
Hemmer and Uhura didn't show up in this episode, but presumably they're around. They're just
even though IMDb credits her as being in the episode, but.
Maybe, yeah, no. I like how she points her hypo spray like it's a gun, but I don't think you can shoot from across the room with it.
Oh yeah, that what? No.
Yeah, but I think the whole point is at this point she didn't know who was coming in, so maybe the guys don't know that this isn't a phaser.
Yeah. So she's just it's a ruse.
Survival instinct, right?
Spock's got his
phaser. Point it at them, they'll think.
Gonna shoot me with a hypo spray? That's pretty funny.
Yeah,
they're able to transfer.
That's not going to work from that distance.
Spock and Chapel, they're able to like lock out get the computer control back, get things here, and which is really what Angel wants them to do. And it's at this point that they go, "Oh, we're still taking down our enemies with space heroin."
I think we need to have Chris on this show.
He's gonna get many people.
This guy's funny.
Yeah, Murphy, you want to
come on? Here, and we got Spock, and this is where Aspen becomes Angel. And
hit me up on Twitter, and we'll arrange that, Chris, if you want
to. Yeah. So here we go. Coming through with the whole turn here. Spock is betrayed, and they come into the bridge. She's like, I'm going to. What do they want now? They want, now that she has control of the ship. Like, what is? I can't remember what she actually wants from Spock.
She wants
and Chapel.
Spock.
She wants Spock directly to call.
To
so
train.
because she wants to get Sybok out, right? So now it's about calling up to Pring. That's the next part of the plan. Take over the Enterprise, and then get to Pring on the line. Yeah.
So all these people will come to realize are just in Sybok's cult.
Yeah. Or at least Angel is Captain Angel. I like how they just fire the phasers, and she's like, "Woo! I love this. It's great." Like just having some fun with it.
Fire the
reminds me of Khan.
That's the first thing you'd say. That
Wrath of Khan when he takes over. What is it? The Intrepid.
Reliant.
The, Reliant. Yeah.
I really like this performance. I like this version of Angel moving forward, because it's such a villain, and so for me it was a great turnaround. I was surprised by it, as was Chris Murphy. And then coming here, we pop over here to Vulcan, where we got to Pring, teaching art class to some convicts. Watercolors is the.
But she's not a prison guard.
She's not a prison. She's a warden of sorts.
Basically, yeah.
Did they call this guy Ston? Is this Ston?
Yeah, that's what they call
I thought that too, but I didn't bother to go back to check.
Because if you remember Amok Time, Ston was the guy she picks over Spock, and then that's
shit.
The plot thickens.
Yeah, so this might be earlier Ston, where Spock's like, I see no logic in preferring Ston over
seeds.
Could be.
Seeds.
Yeah, this might be her future husband that she picks over Spock ultimately, and almost gets Kirk killed in the process, if you remember. Anyways. Yeah. So here we have Angel. She's talking to Pring, and she's like, I need that prisoner, and I'm going to just some great acting here from in performance. I really just enjoy the facial expressions and everything else. I'm going to kill Spock. You're betrothed, and it will be a disgrace to your whole family, and blah blah blah, unless you bring me so and so, the Vulcan prisoner, who they have like a different name. They don't call him Sybok right away. It's something else.
No, it's like Severus or something like that.
Severus Snape, maybe. And they go back and forth
to Pringle.
Pringle.
I love that.
But basically, she's like, "Bring me the prisoner, or Spock dies," and that's kind of the thing. And she's like, "Well, Spock's like, she's a Vulcan. She'll never do it." And she's like, "She will totally do it because you are, for honor and all this Vulcan kind of nonsense. Like, I know how to manipulate Vulcans. Don't worry."
Right, I like how she's teasing him about how she's been manipulating him with emotions this entire time. She's like, "Oh, poo-hoo, my backstory. Boo-hoo, my like."
Well, she's like, you lecturing me about. He's like, you lecturing me about a mistaken identity is kind of like rich, and she's like, whatever. Go get bent, Spock. She's not a nice person, this Captain Angel. A little bit of a meanie, but that's okay. Some good stuff here. Back over on in the mutiny, it's Pike and
back on Alpha Braga 4.
Back here over the Serene Squall. The episode's called the Serene Squall, but they probably spend more time on the Enterprise than over here. But they're kind of just inciting the whole thing. Like, you think it's so dumb to sell us to the Klingons. You know what the Klingons are gonna do? You are captain material, they say to this one.
That makes you captain material in my book.
Right? She's like, well, she says here that the green Orion guy is not the captain, but we already kind of know that. So we're kind of, that information's coming out here around the same time, and they're all kind of working her, and then she walks away. And I like how they got the whole thing. Oh no, this one.
Alpha Braga 4. Works every time.
Works every time. That's how you escape from pirates. You just
I want a flashback episode of Alpha Braga 4. That's what I want.
Might happen. Anyway, so even though they're in the Wild West, guys, and they're seemingly far away, this Vulcan ship with T'Pring and gets there pretty quickly overall. This whole negotiations, I guess so. Got some high warp ships.
What flavor would she be?
So Spock like comes over and says like, T'Pring, you can't do it. You can't release. That's like the Enterprise era one. You can't release this guy. And so she basically just shoots Spock
The
in the back
blandest
here.
one.
Yeah. Oh, here it is. Yeah. Boo. I got used to just like, ugh, falls down.
That's some good animation right there.
Yeah.
I will say I'm kind of done with the Spock to Pring will they won't they thing. Like,
yeah,
because we know ultimately they won't.
Yeah,
I was done 2 episodes ago.
Played out already.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, it's
The minute I saw T'Pring, I'm like, ah.
Right. And
So
so
angry.
he goes, oh, guess what? T'Pring, I'm actually in a relationship with Nurse Chapel, because he kind of gives Chapel a little bit of heads up, like I got just go with it or just run with this. And Chapel is kind of like, I wish this was true, but I know it's not.
The problem is that this turned into like a fucking teen comedy all of a sudden. It was like, oh,
I don't know.
I expected a little bit more
comedy. It was kind of
yeah,
like,
but you know what I mean, like
yeah.
all those like teen comedies from the 90s. It's like, will they hook
romantic.
up? Oh, they hooked up by accident. You know, it's like, oh, come on.
It gets very passionate, this kiss here with Ethan
that's
Peck
because
and Jess Bush.
Nurse Chapel likes him.
And I saw this coming. This is what I saw coming from the opening of the episode. I'm like, this is gonna be the Spock Chapel episode.
Yeah, and it is Spock, Chapel, and
They
T'Pring
definitely took their time on that one.
Oh yeah, there's quite a there's like, even here she's like, whoa, that is a kiss.
She's happy.
Yeah, and he's kind of like, yeah, that was cool. Anyway,
He's
so
like, wait, that might have been a
Angel's
good
like,
idea.
you don't buy this bullshit, do you? Which she's like, I totally do. And Spock, they kind of do like, they're like, T'Pring, gone but never gone. Like, they've done this a few times, like this, their whole like the thing from Amok Time. The writers must really love that episode, because they just love this everything that they can do here with Spock.
Not sure why. I don't think it was that great of an episode, but anyway.
Well, it is considered one of the best episodes of the original series, but it's I don't know if it's because of
saying a lot.
Yeah, well,
there were better episodes.
Anyway, so she's not handed over the prisoner now. Spock is dead to her. She's like, you are released from the vow, and she does a very weak Vulcan salute here. I gotta tell you, those fingers barely
that's
apart.
Maybe she's not good at
that's
it.
the mark of a woman that they never checked before they actually hired her on.
They're like, can you actually do it? She's like, actually, I can't do it. But she Spock, he's like, look,
like, in
half human,
time,
I can do it.
In Amok Time, that older woman who played the older Vulcan lady, she couldn't do the hand symbol, so they had to like stop the thing.
They had to like glue her fingers together
and
or
like
something.
Separate her fingers and then start the cameras again.
Chris says they ended their relationship by swiping right.
Yeah, literally. Anyway, so I like this pirate.
Fucking dating apps are weird.
Fucking dating apps are weird.
Serene Squall then shows up right at this point and fires on them, and they're like, "What?" And we're locked out of the main computer. And I love this part with Pike here, where it comes in on him, and he says to her,
"I'm only going to tell you this once. Get the hell out of my chair.
Get the hell out of my chair."
Big ship's wheel.
Yeah, it's like, this is normally Angel would be using this, or the pilot. Yeah, you fly it like a boat. Anyway, it was, but I do like the whole thing here. We see like they've taken over the bridge. We find out a little later that it's only the bridge they've taken over. You
know what's good about this ship? Proper aspect ratios on their view screens.
There you go. It's the little things.
The pirates know what they're doing.
Pirates. So she kind of knows. Angel knows she's beat here. She's kind of thinking, the pirates are like, "What are we gonna do? You're done now." They start firing on the Enterprise. Okay, he says like, fire on it gently. I don't want to like hurt the ship, just like do it gentle. Ortega's fires over there, and he's like,
what does that even mean?
She's like, how do I fire gently?
Low yields.
Low yields. Yeah, they have to disable the engines, but not. He doesn't want to hurt the ship otherwise. And this is where they're like, "You're done, Angel. You got to surrender." And she's like, "Oh yeah, I got a little necklace you didn't know about." And she
get out of this town. And never
but
come back.
the one thing she does say here, which kind of says ties into what she said earlier when she was still pretending to be to Spock about when she was Aspen was kind of like the whole, like, you know, you are whoever you want to be. It's not that you're Vulcan or human.
I urge you to consider that you do not need to be either Vulcan or human. That is and always has been a false choice. The question isn't what you are, it's who you are.
It's not what you are, it's who you are. And then she
True.
beams away. She's clearly a criminal, mutant, like saboteur, imposter person. Anyway, so the pirates are done. She leaves the rest of her crew behind. She's like, see you never.
So why do all the bad guys always have these really cool, like,
all about that necklace,
transporting technology, but yet, like, Starfleet doesn't put this in like every comm badge? Like, why haven't they done that? Like,
comm necklaces. It's the next stage. It's the next evolution. You know.
Yes. Point personal transporters. Yeah, well, it's...
right. She also, this one again also has like a more of like a wheel thing that's for the steering, which I thought was interesting.
I think every species has a different way of controlling their vehicles, right? So
was she a human or was she meant to be like some kind of alien?
I think she's some sort of alien, but she's obviously of a humanoid form.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, she warps away. See you later. And then we see Spock's in control of the ship. The pirates have surrendered, and he's like, all good over there. He's like, well, we kind of need some help here because the pirates are trying.
She's like, we sort of jumped the gun on Alpha Braga 4.
Yeah,
that was an awesome.
It was a little bit of a con here. He's so good. He does it. He's like, you better get us out of here. He's like, right away, Captain.
Like, we're like midway through the mutiny.
This was like partial mutiny. I
haven't totally finised this, so this might be something that we need to deal with.
Took the bridge.
Like really, like they could have turned this around here, but then Pike's back in, and this is when Pike starts doing his whole pirate thing.
Yeah,
mateys. You know, if we ever find that angel again,
we should make them walk the plank.
Please stop.
It's so he's having some fun with this. Even though his ship got taken over by pirates,
I said the same thing at the beginning of this episode. Please stop.
Please stop. Argumenties. Like Pike is great. Pike is like he's fun.
Pike is fun.
He's a leader. He's got a great speech when he needs one.
He's what I wanted Kirk to always be.
Perfect captain.
But
he's like,
but he always came a little short. Like he would be funny, but he wouldn't be funny enough.
Not this kind of funny.
Yeah.
I don't think any of the captains before him had this kind of humor, but he's also like, he's got a great combination of like Kirk and Picard and even Cisco at times a little bit. Yeah. And Janeway, maybe, I don't know. We'll see.
The defiant part of Janeway, maybe.
Archer, thankfully not. And, and so it's,
I don't know. Ensign Mount does do a lot of walking, but he doesn't do a lot of walking.
It's a great episode.
Yeah. Back and so kind of a couple things to wrap up the episode. We have Spock here in his quarters, I guess, meditating after what's happened. T'Pring shows up. She's like, I was in the
windows.
Because they're at warp, right?
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome though.
And he kind of says like it was. She's like, I knew it was all a fake. It was all BS. I knew it. And he's like, oh, you did? Okay, good. Well, maybe we should make up. And they kind of said that they're going to, bang here, basically. And
yay!
Yeah, they're back. And this kiss was not as this first kiss is whatever. And then we kind of get a second kiss, which is still not as good as the chapel kiss.
Well, they need to get to that rebonding ritual, and then it'll be
we should have a rebonding ritual. And get that on there. Then after this, Spock goes to see Chapel in sickbay, and she's not too thrilled with the whole being used in this thing because it kind of played with her emotions, perhaps. Yeah, I like Chris Murphy here too. Aspen / Angel is a fun auxiliary character, kind of like a Harry Mudd character who we might see show up again.
I hope we get a Harry Mudd.
Yeah, I could see. Could you see like Angel and Harry Mudd?
Yeah, definitely. It'll be a cold open. I agree.
Yeah, spot on.
Anyway, so they're talking here, and she's like, "Well, I dig Vulcans, and if I could date you, I would. But you're not the kind. You're not the kind of guy to have a nurse mistress. So you're a good guy or something." And that's kind of how they leave this. They're buds, and that's kind of the the end of it. But he tells her about, well, guess what? I had basically a half brother. It's like Ambassador Sarek had. We find out that he kind of like, she's like, well, you thought you knew the Vulcan that they were trying to get. He goes, yeah, because like my dad had a kid before he married my mom, and that kid grew up to be one of these Vulcan terrorists, sort of an extremist of some kind. And I was told to always avoid him at all times. So I guess Spock at this point in his life has never met Sybok, right? So it's gonna be interesting when we do see those.
But in the movie, we knew that he knew what he looked like and everything. So there's got to be somewhere where they meet, right?
Well, yeah. So they will meet. So they haven't met yet, but
I'm wondering if they'll meet in this series. They might.
Oh, they definitely will. So everything that will really like inform the way we look at Star Trek V moving forward too. Like because all that.
No, it's still shit.
Maybe we'll make it better.
No, it won't.
Go to Nimbus 3, the planet of galactic peace.
Putting a bow on a turd doesn't make it look better.
It might be. It might, Jody. We don't know. You can polish it. Anyway, he says, yes, he might have been using this alias, but his real name is Sybok. And we only see the back of his head here. And then
he looks like Sybok, though.
It does.
I was like, are they doing a crossover with Star Wars Kenobi or what? Like,
well, I thought maybe it was Ethan Peck in like in some shaggy wig or something.
It could
and
be
a beard, but
it totally could be.
Yeah, and then because he says my half.
Who's it gonna be? Do we know who plays Sybok?
I don't think we do yet.
My half brother.
Some crazy big reveal.
I gotta find that out. Hold on.
Shatner.
Yeah, because they've revealed who the new Kirk is, and like that hasn't even been introduced at all.
No, he's gonna be in season 2.
Anyway, so that's the end of the episode, guys. So I like that they set up Sybok here. I liked this new character of Angel. I thought some interesting stuff with Chapel and Spock. I think T'Pring is already overused in my opinion.
Yeah, I reached my limit.
And Pike again continues to impress. So I gotta say that overall, I really enjoyed this. I think that they're continuing this trend of all solid episodes. I'm always looking forward to Thursday right now, and I think that's a good sign. Maybe we can get into some ratings, guys, for this episode.
Me too, but only because I get to talk to you guys.
Of course. I'm going to give this episode. I think it's like an 8.5 for me. Kevin's not with us tonight. Jody, what would you like to rate this episode?
What's the lowest rating I've had so far?
He's looking for Sybok.
Lowest rating you've had is an 8.5.
7.5.
7.5. Davan?
I'm gonna give it a 7.
Wow,
7.
lower than me.
And no, Adam never showed up, eh?
No. So. Well, hopefully everything's all right. Soft 7 in Chris Murphy's book.
Soft 7 for Murphy.
For Murph. Oh, I never checked the
my 7 was over easy.
Had an IMDb score.
The IMDb?
Where is it sitting at? I like how we always get it. It's like it's only been out for like less than 24 hours. But
yeah, exactly. Hold
6 people on IMDb say.
It's like usually about 100 people.
Yeah, well, at this point, there'll only be like 100 or so.
Just while you're looking that up.
276 have rated it a 7.4. Exactly where I am, basically.
So that's the lowest.
I literally represent the world.
You do.
That is me.
Jody. You're the standard.
The people.
A new director for this episode
people,
too.
Man of the people for sure.
We definitely seen Sarah Tarkoff. She co-wrote the second episode. Bo DeMaio.
Bo DeMaio is the guy writing the new X-Men cartoon too. So.
Oh yeah.
He should be on one of my shows.
This was a Spock / Apple episode. I guess Sybok also was kind of, this is the introduction of Sybok, so.
So they don't actually, they don't have a listing for Sybok.
Unless they just leave that alone for a while.
They might.
There's no listing for Sybok, so.
Maybe not cast yet. It might just be the back of somebody's head. So
it could just be. It could be even, a producer or something.
The next week's episode is called The Elysian Kingdom. Any theories there?
I just hope it takes place on a planet because this is Strange New Worlds after all.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not seeing a lot of worlds.
Well, the world was the penal colony, the Vulcan penal
the
colony.
penal colony that I saw in 2 frames of animation. Okay.
Open your eyes, Jody.
Open your
Clearly I'm
eyes and open yourself up.
And open your heart.
Surrender your pain to
I don't know
Cybok.
about that.
Yep.
He'll ease your
Listen,
pain.
guys, what does God need in a starship?
My mind to your mind. My pain to your pain.
All right, so 7.7 was the average for the 3 of us tonight. So this was the lowest rated so far, but I for me it was still good. I really did like it. And,
it's not like it's a terrible
amazing.
episode. It's just not to the quality of what the other ones were, in my opinion.
And I think there's some fatigue here with T'Pring.
Already, yeah. T'Pringle. That's what we're calling it now.
Of course.
Pringles. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's our review of this episode. We hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for sticking with us if you got this far, and we hope you'll join us for next week's review of the Elysian Kingdom.
The problem is we get way more views on the replay than we do on the live.
We don't get as many live viewers, but we do we do pretty well with the like throughout the course of the week. So.
Man, this Chris guy, I love this Chris guy already. The can's running empty onto Pringles.
So when you get your hand stuck in there,
when you get it stuck, yeah.
Oh,
that would
those hard to reach chips.
I don't know if we're a PG show once we start talking about getting our hands stuck into Pringles, but anyway.
I was more of a Clerks reference
yes, I know.
than anything else. Also, you should check out our other Star Trek podcasts that we do.
What?
So, like on Monday nights, Jody.
Really?
We have a Star Trek Enterprise rewatch where we're going through each episode of Star Trek Enterprise one by one. The 20-year-old show with with Archer and that. You guys
that
just
is dead to me after what you guys did last week.
Well, Jody, because
your review show is dead to me.
They gave it a 0. They were all given 0s at it.
I didn't give it a 0. I gave it a 2.
It's like one of the best Enterprise episodes. You guys are.
You are so wrong. It's not.
It wasn't that bad. It was.
It was like a garbage episode.
Such a good episode.
It was garbage.
Oh, the whole review was just like.
I'd rather watch No Word of a Lie, the episode after.
You guys just don't get Malcolm's
which
dry
is
humor.
A Night in Sick Bay. Night in Sick Bay is not a good episode.
That's not the next episode. The next episode is Dead Stop.
Oh, that's right. Dead Stop, and then it's Okay,
that's what we're going to be talking about this Monday. Anyway, Dead Stop's coming up this Monday on Star Trek Enterprise every Monday night with Jody Simpson, Kevin
the
Millard,
host of The People.
Yes, Adam Woodward. Hopefully he'll make that one.
Hopefully, yeah.
And sometimes Davin's on that one too.
I wish you guys could see
Davin
my
never
screen,
shows up.
I
want him to, but he never
has
shows
been
up.
Frozen on my screen for like the last 2 minutes, and it's just him doing this like face like.
Who, me?
So it's like Jody's been doing that for like 3 minutes or 2 or 3 minutes.
Oh, but he's been moving on my side. It's been okay.
I'm moving.
Yeah. Anyway,
and happiest I've ever seen Jody, and I get to look at it like constantly. It's nice.
And then now Wednesday we have come back with our Star Trek Deep Space 99 rewatch. Last night we did it was Jeff Mader and Kevin Millard and I. We did a 2-hour review of In Purgatory Shadow and By Inferno's Light, the 2-parter, where that's where like the Dominion War really kicks off in the middle of Star Trek Star Trek's Deep Space Nine's 5th season. That was a really fun one to kind of go through.
Show a little respect.
Yeah, that's right.
Except for Worf. Don't show him any respect.
I'll be waiting.
Yeah,
good.
You don't be messing with Worf.
I'll be waiting to do nothing for
he'll
every
take you down, Jody. Don't you be
on.
slagging on Worf. Worf is the greatest.
Worf sucks.
Worf, he's
the only thing worse than Worf is Alexander.
Oh.
What about Garrick?
Yeah, Garrick's kind of a dick too. But
at the first sign of betrayal, I will kill him, but I promise to return the body intact.
There's some great.
You know what's interesting about your representation of Worf? That's literally how I feel about him in every episode he's in. He stands still and does nothing but whine.
We're moving on. We're not going to be slagging on Worf anymore here.
Fuck Worf.
Come on.
I'm going to trend that on.
That's Jax's job.
You know what? I'm going to register that domain name.
Oh. Do the Vulcan. What's that one? The Mokbara? Is that Mokbara?
This has gone way stranger than I signed up for.
It's Strange New Worlds.
Yeah, maybe we'll get to a world next time.
Maybe we'll get there. Okay, so thanks for being with us. Check out our other Star Trek podcasts and check out Davan's Star Trek podcast, Locutus a Trek. What are you guys going on next? Trivia? You got some Writers Room pitches? You got
probably a Worf tribute.
Debate 9?
Eventually. Oh, well, no, we just did Debate 9. We're going to do a Class L probe. We're going to launch a Class L probe into the Debate 9 world and deep dive on some of those topics. And then we'll do the comedy of Star Trek episode, our regular podcast episode. And check out X-Rated, the X-Men animated review show, but not this coming week because we just finished season 2 and we're taking a week off. And then we'll be back with season 3. Very exciting. Lots of exciting things to come on season 3.
Wow, exciting. So X-Men the Animated Series rewatch X-Rated with Davan and Andre on Tuesdays, right? Check that. Also check out our friends podcast like Michael Chan and Alex Blackburn. They got the Hellbound podcast. That's a horror themed podcast on Wednesdays. And then my son Eamon Mater's got Let's Talk About Fighting Games, where they talk about fighting games like King of Fighters.
Not Mega Man.
Not Mega Man. Only on New Year's specials. Only on New Year's specials.
Only on specials, guys.
Plus, check out Super Mater Brothers podcasting, our reality and scripted TV show reviews.
I wouldn't, but
with Jeff
some
Mater
people might.
over there, and then Trivial Debates, our ongoing saga where we argue about movies, TV, sports, and more. Okay, well, thanks for being with us again, and we'll go out on a quote. Live long and podcast, everyone. Thanks to Jody and Davan for joining us, and regrets from Kevin and Adam.
Let's do it like the new way.
Oh,
yeah.
You mean the Topringle way?
Yeah, let's do it.
Topringle way. Yeah, I barely.
That's
it right there.
Just
I can't even do it that naturally. Like I have to do it like this. But
do it like Topringle. Okay.
Arg, me mateys. We should make them walk the plank, Carol.